Hey, good morning, Mr. Knife Art. How are you, man? How's it going over there, man? Where are you? Thailand, right? I think you're in Thailand. Bila? BHN. What's that? Wayzone City. Let me check that out. I don't know where that is. Oh, Manila. Is that Manila? Oh, you're close to Manila. Nice. Hey, did you move? Yeah, I saw that. Cool. Near Solar Casino. Oh, nice. Getting married in 1 month. All right. Well, congratulations, man. Getting married in a month. That's exciting. You excited? That's very exciting. Ready. So what's up, man? You excited for your marriage or what? Your first time getting married? Plenty relation experience? Okay. That's good. I think. Right? Thank you. Woke up and just chose violence, bro. What the heck is going on? I'm shorting that thing right away. See if it comes down enough, but we'll put it at PDL for now. Thank you. Just New York Open flush. See if it comes back to the open, but typically this is an open test drive. I don't know if it wants to test the overnight low, but we'll see. Just woke up and chose violence. As soon as it woke up. You know, I'm not even gonna put the DOM open on the NQ. I hate the DOM on the NQ. It sucks. I don't even want to look at it. I do want to short the S&P if it continues this way, but we'll see. I'll give it some time to form. The only thing is I like the way the NQ just opened sharply lower. NQ opened sharply lower, very weak coming into the open. Could be an OTD, just waiting for now. So I just came into the current value area low. Gamma levels come. It's only been 2 minutes, which is not nuts to think about that it's moved so much. I think it just moved 100 points, right? Yeah, NQ already moved 100 points from the first 2 minutes. That's nuts. I don't know. They're pausing here now. Did we have news today? I'm pretty sure we had news pre-market, right? There's like CPI or something. Today's Wednesday or Tuesday? Today's Wednesday. Or CPI should have come out already, right? Oh, it hasn't come out yet. Oh. What time does it come out? I don't even see the NQs already near my... I'll just take it here. Guess I'm here at the... And then... We'll wait if it comes lower, but... Overnight low is the next area. I'll take it. I might want to break down past that point. When is that CPI come out? Am I looking at? Ooh. Nice short. Yeah, it's a scalp more than anything, honestly. Oh, it comes out tomorrow. Okay. Alright. I'm over here alarmed by data, but it's not coming out till tomorrow. Yeah, thanks, man. I might Google it right now real quick, and yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it was a scalp. I mean, honestly, I'm not too excited about the short. I think it's an OTD, meaning open test drive of the overnight low, likely. Just the way it opened was just very telling. When you have a flush open like that, or a pop open like that, where the New York opens and it doesn't even come back to it in the first minute, typically there's a continuation into the PDL or the overnight low. Those are the two areas that I usually can see it going to when you have an open like that. It opened just like that. So I was targeting the PDL, which would have hit right here if I held it a little longer. And then the next level down is the most obvious one is going to be the overnight low, which is just below that at 666. So that's where I'm targeting on the NQ. We'll see what it does though. Yeah, it's coming right into that back below. See what the S&P does. There's been a lot of absorption, you know, for this by the sellers from between 85 and 90, and this is where they rejected this morning. So let's see what happens. I'll be right back in a sec. The NQ hit the overnight low yet? It does not. Okay. There's a lot of selling coming into this open. I don't know if they're going to trap all this selling or if it's going to end up being a imbalance to break us down. Because the Dow is outperforming. The only weaker one is the YM is doing pretty well. It broke over the overnight high and is continuing to press. The NQ is the one leaking currently. And it's below that level I said yesterday, the 750s. It's below 750, so you know, it's no bueno. No bueno. Tape is just dead on the S&P at the lows. Look at that. All right, we'll take it there. Let's update the gamma levels. Forgot about doing that. Are you fam or just acting? I think I got filled on the NQ. Yeah, I got filled at the lows there. Okay. I was just a little short trade on the NQ. I wasn't really looking for a major move. Based on, again, I already know what it was. Again, if I think all y'all do Saturdays. Oh, so. So that was a quick NQ trade. Not really something I usually will take, to be honest. Oh, look, it started reversing as soon as I covered. That's nice. But you want to see as if you're short biased NQ, you want to see it hold below 750. That's the level. That's the level. Oh my. The bias is short today. Interesting. I don't have the read yet. I'm gonna say it's... The read on the scanner says short today. Interesting. Alright, we'll see. We'll see. Why is it short? Let's see. It says open to the standard deviations above. Did it? Kind of. Yeah, it did. We haven't got the classification for the open, but I would say it's an open auction. No, can't be an open auction. An open test drive probably. Sorry, it's an open drive probably. Huh. Yeah, it might be an open drive. I might add more to this NQ short here. We're below 750. Yeah, kind of. If this is an open drive, this might be a good short. Let me see. NQ. Short, trail winners. Okay. Yeah, this might be a good area to add if it's an open drive, man. This might be an open drive, brother. We'll see. I'll be patient here and wait it out, but we're like very consolidated. If you look at the 4-hour print, 4-hour candles, we're very compressed, meaning we're due for probably a large move at some point. I'm not really one to like to be short, but this certainly looks like it might be a good short setup here. I'll try it again here. Not really, again, I'm kind of sketched out to be shorting the NQ, but I don't like shorting the NQ. Fucking terrible. But the open drive currently, because it hasn't broken the overnight low yet, so it can't be an open test drive. Probably an open drive. And 750 is where I want to be short out of. 750 is a good spot, in my opinion. Holding below that. This is a level yesterday that I was looking for it to break down out of yesterday. That it just didn't do it yesterday. 750 was a spot. And we're below it. We're testing from underneath. So what I was looking for yesterday for the NQ to break down is happening right now. So I'm down to short it here. Took a short on the NQ at 741. Stop loss would have to be near the New York Open. This might be an open drive for the NQ for the downside. The take profits overnight low and see where it can scale to thereafter. We'll see. Let me try to sell me on the dose. And we'll see if it hits the overnight low. I'll scale again. I added literally at the same spot pretty much on my stop loss here. Actually, not really. I was a little higher. I was a little higher on the entry earlier. So we'll see. I like longs on the S&P, but I just have to... I have to see how the NQ resolves itself. If jet and oil keep dropping, I feel a pop is coming. Well, I don't go off a feel, but I agree. It can do that, but just wait until it does react. The market does do that, right? Like let the market tell you that that's going to happen. So, you know, I've had many trades where the dynamic of oil or the dynamic of bonds should be fucking some shit up over here. Oh, look at that. I just took profit. Awesome. So I've seen bonds do this. I've seen oil do this. I've seen so many things that should fuck shit up. Like, meaning it should inadvertently push the S&P up or down or whatever. But like, it won't happen until it happens, if that makes sense. Like, there's no front running that logic. Yeah, does that make sense? Your drop, dude, that's from watching the open every fucking day. The little tool that I have next to my head, that tool is pretty much telling you what I said quickly right off the open. But I agree with you, Fortiv. Welcome back, by the way. I appreciate you watching this stream. I agree. Look at the NQ just hit the overnight low and just scaled there. So I'm just gonna trail the runner down into a structural area. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, that reload right there was perfect. Reloaded at the 750s. That's from the level from yesterday. I wanted to I don't want to be short the S&P. I like it for longs. I just got to see what it does. Longs get underwater below 68, 65 on the S&P. So if we drop 10 more points and we're not able to bounce, then I'm open to short that as well on the S&P. Right now, the NQ is leading lower. Look at that. That fucking reload was perfect. My goodness. The S&P tape is very slow. Look at the tape, man. It's moving like molasses. My assumption, the way this tape is moving on the S&P, there is a move coming, like you said, Fortiv, because the tape is super slow and the NQ is completely imbalanced. So there's going to be a catch-up bid or a catch-up offer, meaning it's going to move quickly. On the S&P it's going to capitulate really hard, or it's going to bounce really hard based on the way the tape is moving. On the NQ, we got our read here. That's my notification that the open is classified. Open drive. See, like I said, oh yeah, look at NQ classification, open drive, just like I said. That was perfect timing on mine. I read it quickly. I haven't got the read for the ES, but I would assume it's going to be similar on the NQ, on the S&P. But yeah, open drive means trade with the open. Don't fade the opening move. Is what it means. Let me pull it up here for you. So here's the open drive. Go to NQ, filter it out. It gives all the data. Open drive. So here it is. So open drive says first bar near its extreme, 20% of the range, the open. No return to the opening price in the first 15 minutes. It's been 15 minutes. We have not come back to the New York Open. Volume is above average. I don't know that because I don't have an indicator for it, nor am I looking at the tape, so I don't know. I'm letting the system tell me that because it reads volume. Price stays one-sided below VWAP. VWAP's up there by the open, so yes, true. So it says trade with the drive, do not fade it. Wait for a weak low volume retest. I think that's exactly what I got at the 750s was a weak low volume retest. I just happened to get in at the right time. Reclaim of VWAP is the invalidation. In other words, if it gets back above the PDC Friday close, that's the invalidation for the trade. So I'll definitely trail my stop loss there in a few. Below VWAP, there we go. Cool. And then the S&P is also an open drive classification. Interesting. Let's actually put that in the system. Let's see. We'll go. And by the way, the tool I'm using is a tool I created. I use this obviously every day to trade. Well, not obviously, but I use it every day to trade. It is, and currently below VWAP. We're going for a big break, I think, honestly. Long? Interesting. So this is saying long on the bias. It's a high quality long too, but it's below VWAP. Very interesting read. So the ES long is saying a failed breakdown of the initial balance. That doesn't form until 30 minutes from now. So we'll see. I mean, if that's the setup, I'll definitely be patient for that later, which is about 30 minutes from now, for the S&P. So we'll play with that. We'll see what it does. NQ would have to do a nice big reclaim, if that's the case. And keep the bias here open for us. Open drive. There we go. You're testing calls? All right. Oh, cool, man. What's the rationale there? Let's see. I was looking for something. What was I looking for? I blanked out. All right. Yeah, the NQ was an open drive for a move lower so far. I'm also waiting for a long setup on the S. NDX. That's like the SPX, right, for the S&P? All right, so let's manage this trade on the on the Nasdaq. We'll hold it kind of near our entry. I'm not really willing to let this thing ride back into my entry, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah, the Dow is straight ripping right now, continuously making new highs. I was too initially, but then it never took out the O and L. Number, no. Hmm. I think it says long structural bias, but I think it's wrong, dude. I think that scanner is wrong right now. I'll keep an eye out for that and failed breakdown of the IB. By the way, if you guys I have an ES positioning brief that gets made every day pre-market. I get all the MBO data from the past 5 sessions. Hey, buddy. Yeah, why? You can just eat a little bit of both if you want. Okay? So, the positioning context kind of takes the volume for the last few sessions, compiles it based on how the orders are transacted off the bid or off the ask. And there's been a lot of absorption on the sell side between 85 and 790 on the S&P. And then the kicker is that there's a lot of net buying at 768, which is about 4 points off the low. That's where buyers become trapped and we can capitulate. So this is an open drive or a move lower. I don't want to see price hold below that area or accept below it. And then holding above 785 puts the sellers at risk of getting squeezed. Squeeze risk builds. So 85 also lines up with the prior value area high. So that lines up perfectly. So the risk to the upside is 785 squeeze potential. Risk to the downside is 68, something like that. Yeah, 768. Those are the two levels at least that are on the report here. Actually discussed that. Quick move up right now or a short move up? That's a good move up already. I mean, if it's doing the overnight low failed breakdown on the NQ, if it holds, if it gets above 750s, it can blow. We'll see. I have my stop on that break even spot. I'm going to have my entry cost. And that's something I like to do, but at the same time, like I don't like being short for long periods of time. So the open drive, if it's going to be a move lower, is to short here right where VWAP is. I personally will not be doing that, although this would be the appropriate area to take it if you're short biased on the S&P. Yeah, it's popping. NQ is coming back violently. Oh my. I only took based on the demand. No worries. Yeah, that's a good trade. I mean, I didn't take the long. You heavily got the other side of the trade, which might be the better trade. I don't know. We'll see. You certainly got a good entry. You got there right in a good area because it reversed right off of that zone. And S&P looks armed and ready for a breakout. It just needs the NQ to confirm. Look at that. Ooh, NQ. Oh, dude, there's a lot of volume coming in on the S&P now. Great volume coming in here as it breaks above VWAP. Look at that. It's accelerating hard. So above 85 is the S&P. I got trailed out. Okay, I got trailed out of the NQ trade. Not bad. The NQ trade got trailed out there. Right at the 750s. S&P is holding above 85s here. See what happens. You closed it? Nice. Yeah, this is a good run up. Looks like a great failed breakdown setting up on the NASDAQ too. Open drive. This is short now. It's kind of confusing me. Why are you doing this to me? Okay, well, we'll see. Yeah, well, I'm gonna be patient here. I don't want to be long right away off the pull, but I think there's a trade amongst us, and we'll see. I'm more inclined to the short side, but have little faith. Yeah, I'm not prone to pressing anything until we can. Here's my problem. The open drive, the way we open and, you know, distributed right off the morning, I don't trust the pop because the open drive is still in play. As long as we haven't revisited or taken out that New York Open from the morning. So for me, I'm more hesitant to be long until we can retest the New York Open and then retest the value high from above. So I'm gonna wait it out. Enki's doing pretty good on the return. It's back above VWAP now after that big move down. Right click, positioning, run as an administrator, setup. I'm watching here, see how this comes back. If it gets below VWAP, then I'll certainly I'll take a short if it gets below the VWAP, which is about 80s. The sellers are hitting. The sellers are trying to hit the tape here. A little bit of a negative delta print popped up, but I don't know. Volume's kind of slow. I wish I could speak a lot on it, but unfortunately, the volume is pretty anemic. It's this week. Keep getting a bunch of headlines on my newswire about CPI. It must be a pretty big report. So I keep getting, as I get Seeking Alpha, CPI countdown. Market bet the July report won't rock the boat. And I had another CPI report, a headline earlier. Is it really that important? I feel like CPI has been pretty muted lately. Reactions, at least. Okay, I will try a small ad here. New York Open has to be my stop, honestly. And then breakdown of overnight low. I'm going to take a short here at 82.5. We'll add more if it breaks and holds below 780. Stop will be at New York Open. NQ keeps fucking melting up. Hey, not bad. The Dow just broke down though. It's so funny, like the... Here, I'll show you actually. I can just pull up the chart instead. Look at this. You have the Dow pop, NQ fade, Dow fade, NQ pop. The reshuffling of the deck, man, is crazy. They reshuffled that book so hard. Damn. Pretty interesting if you ask me. See. Refilled there some more. Okay. Cool. That's as much as I'm willing to risk right there on that trade. I will see if this ends up paying, right? Right. Overnight low, we'll take some. Yeah, something like that. Cool. So we'll see what happens here. This is a weekly value high for the current week. It's only Tuesday. This is the prior session value high too. And we have an open test drive. So, and then there's a lot of sell, dude, there's a lot of delta selling. It's kind of nuts. I don't know why, but there's a lot of, look at this. The delta coming into the zone. And you can see it on the DOM too. There's a lot of sellers hitting the wire there. I don't know why, but I'm down to take the trade. I hate how many terminals open on my computer. It's kind of frustrating sometimes. I feel like I'm getting spammed by my AI. So the report is still lining up. If you guys, so check it out. This report is really helpful because it was telling us, or telling me, there's a bunch of sellers absorbing supply or bids between 85 and 90. They're still there. Look at the DOM right now. They're still there. This report was from this morning, and yesterday's report said the same thing. There's a lot of passive sellers offering between this 5-point spread, 790 and the 85. So I'm gonna line up with that flow here on this trade right now. Ezra, did you put your Chromebook in your backpack? Okay. For now, there's a squeeze risk of those sellers if price holds above 85s. So the invalidation is pretty tight based on my entry. I think it's right here, the risk. Yeah, here it is. So the risk parameter here, this trap resolves, meaning the sellers get trapped if price closes in back above 85s. 785 reinforces the trap or holds above it. It's a squeeze risk, meaning sellers will get squeezed out from their positioning. So right now we're not holding above it. Where you can see we're clearly bumping our heads above the that area, right? Like the 85 area. You know, to value high. We're currently bumping our heads into it. So if it holds above it, I will get squeezed, and my stop is about 7 points from there, which is fine. I'm okay with that trade. The structural bias next to my head over here, I think. My scanner says it's a short bias day based on the open drive. So I'm lining up those two things together, the positioning and the structural bias, to see if this trade will pay. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. That's part of trading, but the risk to reward is definitely favorable. I think it's like 1.75, 1.2. I'm sorry, 1.75 to 2, depending on how I manage it. So I'm putting pieces of the puzzle together, and I'm formulating a thesis here around this trade. Right or wrong, right? Dude, stop spamming me with all these fucking terminals. Jeez. Yeah, we'll hold the trade, see what happens, see how the market you know, decides to do. We have a long little base forming on the S&P, right? We have a long base here, and I mean, the consolidation is more bullish than bearish, to be honest, in a higher time frame, right? Consolidating above all this supply that was built early last week. So there's your thesis, man. It's based on the, you know, the positioning report and then the current report here. These two here. Positioning and this one. Okay. Okay. These two reports here. I don't want to put them on the screen, but pretty much you get the point. Short structure. And positioning. Nah. Hmm? Volume dried up on the delta side. It's not much spread now. Ugh. You amazed, but it's just another day. All right, well, I do have to bounce for a little bit. I'll be back in a little bit. I gotta take my son to school. BRB in 15 minutes. I gotta take him to school. I'll be back in a few, man. Ezra, you ready, buddy? All right. I'm back. Huh. Nothing's really changed, huh? Oh no. Yeah, we're just chopping at VWAP. What a morning, huh? Well, I want to add to this trade. I might do it. I do think it'll be a good one. But we'll see. For now, we'll not add. I do want to see weakness hit the wire, or tape, I should say. Right now, it's just, I don't see any real push or pull. There's just passive sellers. Like I said earlier, that this is going to be a very good report if you guys want to access it and use it for your trading confluences for zones of interest. This is just taking data from the prior session or 5-day session and showing you where positioning has been. It's not going to tell you where position is going to be. That's up to you to kind of discern in real time when price trades. But this does give you context. So, it even labels where the layers of confluence lie. Priority high, RTH, Valera high. And right now, there's nothing more true than where those passive sellers have been. That supply side between 790s and 85s. That's been the high of the bounce here so far. Those sellers were certainly there. I mean, before I reset the DOM delta there was tons of passive selling there again for another day. So just confirming, you know, what the report said this morning. I ran this report this morning pre-market at oh, this is not the one at online. Sorry, let me go to the actual website. So the ES position, that's my personal one that I get sent to me. Here it is. So on the website, if you guys go check it out, this is the site. You guys want that kind of report every morning. It's going to be report. So this one was updated at 7:15 because I'm running some fixes on it, but it gets reported 5:15 a.m. or an hour before the open. Oh, that's the post IB print. Oh my. Actually, I lied. It actually runs again at so it runs 3 times. This report will be updated 3 times a day. It will be updated at midnight for Globex. It'll be updated pre-market for the New York session, and then it gets updated again post IB. So after the IB is initial balance is set. So the most recent one was at 7:15, and that's correct. It should have been updated at 7:15. So let's see. So as of the most recent update, yeah, it says risk reinforces trap. Yeah, if they hit, I mean, if they get above 85s, there's a squeeze run. I'm definitely wrong if it holds above that. The sellers are currently in favor, but they're getting they're not getting much impulse in their favor. So we'll see who gets paid. Either the sellers get squeezed, myself included, or they get paid. Yeah, the NQ did pretty good holding that prior value low here. Hi, from France. Well, welcome from France, Henry. Still stream. Thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in, brother. How did you like it? Let me know if you have any questions. Also, for a sell near 785, 790s. Let's see if the gotta let you that I can teach you still. More passive. Wait a minute. That translate right? All right. Well, let's see if I get paid or not. I'm gonna sit here patiently, find something else to do in the meantime. My price action kind of starts to wake up at some point. At some point, the tape will wake up. I assume they've accumulated quite a bit of volume. I would assume here now, given that it's all centralized around here for the last hour or so. 6:54. Yeah, it's about to be an hour in about 4 minutes. So let's see what they do going into Euro close. Euro close about half an hour away. NQ's coming back. Not bad. It's trying to break out. What it looks like. NQ looks pretty decent on the long end, yeah. Holding pretty decent areas. Delta's picking up here as we hold above 85s. Again, the risk for the sellers is price holding above 85s. We're kind of teetering into it right now. But if they do hold above that, that's the risk of the squeeze. I would assume they target the IB high, just like near the open. All right, I'll sell some more here probably. We'll add a couple more lots here. Stop. You can see that there's a lot of lots traded as we trade above. There's like hundreds of lots on the buy side, but no initiative past it. It doesn't get rewarded. There's like they're passively absorbing it again. Trade in the zone. So it's just a lot of absorption still happening even right now as buyers try to break past the 85s. If it's going to break, it's probably going to have to happen in like an impulse way, like a big pop in price. It just pops, like a really strong pop, and then supported on a low volume retest if it's going to break out. Because right now it seems like the sellers are just passively waiting there, taking them in. All the orders above it, the value are high. Come on, go 80. You're looking to take profit at 80s, or what is that for? Dude, there's no volume. This is dead as shit. The tape is super dead. You're okay. What are you trading? 5 points or what? You're trading for like 5 points, I assume. $230. Yeah, is that a little volume? I don't know the relative volume. 84. Okay. So you just scalp, I assume, Henry? Just like scalping the range, or 40 minutes to get that? No way. Oh shit. I should probably add a volume filter for my days, for sure. That's wild. I'm actually impressed by the fact that they were just waiting for that data to come out before they initiate further positioning. I mean, I understand we moved a lot, but the fact that there's no initiative to participate actively until that report, I mean, how much is it going to change the rate odds? Scalp on 100 trade by bar, like 100 volume by bar. What's the strategy there on scalping? Structure is very vague. What do you mean by structure? I'm not laughing at you, but like, that's such a vague word. Follow trend. Okay. That still doesn't make sense. But all right, cool, man. What's the trend? I mean, I'm assuming it's like on a 1 minute time frame, or I don't know why Alexa thinks I'm talking to her. The fuck? Now that pre-ITH needs to be. Oh, there's your 80 coming right here for you, Mr. Henry. Theory of Dow. I have 2 charts, 30 minutes. What's the Dow theory? Oh god, not her texting me already. Come on, dude. One tick away. Yeah, it should fill you, man. I think this is gonna fill you. I think I'm gonna get paid on this short. The only thing is, I don't know to what degree they're gonna pay me. So I don't know how big the sell will be if there is one. Only because there's just no volume. What I do know is that below 68, 768, there's a bigger sell-off that can happen if we hold below that. But I don't know. There's your fill right there. 80s just hit. Log scheme up empty. There's an acceleration a little bit. Let's see if it breaks or not. NQ can hold below 750s, 730s during this process. Oh my. It'd be great. See if they fill me. Oh shoot, sorry. They see if they fill me. Get my money, get out of my way. Higher and higher, so I'm buying slow. Hey, where's my journal? Oh, it's right there. Oh, shoot. $70.72 algo MBO contract. I don't know what that means. Let me see. I have a DOM. Let's see if that MBO order. Oh yeah, there is. You're right. Yeah. Oh, good eye. There's a bunch of MBO orders right there at 71. Yeah, that's funny. I don't know if that's an algo. Is that an algo, or how do you know that is? I don't really look at the MBO orders too much like that, but yeah, as soon as you said that, I was like, wait a minute, I have that data. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, cool, man. Filter on ES 25. Yeah, I have mine at 25, I think, minimum. I don't have anything smaller than that. Got out FH for that one though. He's the one who showed me how to set up that MBO data on the DOM. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really look at it though. I have it open, but I don't look at it. I do use this one though. This one's really useful. God bless FH for this one. I need to fix it though, because I need to change some things on it. 25. See if they film me here. Give me the money. Show me the money. Intrazone? What do you mean, like for a bid? Are you looking like a buy there or what? Tell me when you lined up. Oh, you don't line up. You can have a rollie. It don't matter when your time up. They missed me by a tick. Oh no. Oh, look at the NQ is below the 750s. Oh shoot. This is even a bigger breakdown possible than I thought. I didn't even look at the NQ till right now. It's below the prior value or low. And it's currently about to, well, see if it breaks below the PDL. Come on, fill me. Let's go. This only took like 2 hours. There's a partial fill. And I got stories. Heroes never had one. I'm just no good if they leave that shit on. You can talk when I'm done. There's a lot of selling coming into this area. I buy higher highs if the volume increases after this area. Oh, okay. So let me... So, I mean, higher low or higher highs? What do you mean? Because, I mean, I can understand it going like this and then put it in a higher low and then you get long there. Right? That would make sense. I got filled, I guess. I don't even see the Dom hit that tape level yet, but I got filled on more. And then there's more to fill below me. I have 3 more lots. I'm going to take them here because I don't like this volume here. There you go. Cool. I still have 2 lots. Again, the lack of volume does not give me conviction to hold this too much. I do think we can break down further, but because of the lack of volume overall and how much delta, I mean, this could be bad or this could be for shorts or it could be really good. I can't tell right now because the volume's so slow. There's a ton of net selling as we're breaking this low, and that's never a good sign for potential trap sells. We'll see. We'll see. It sounded like you was 7 trying to sell me on the dosh. Damn. Well, I had 5 believers. Good. I appreciate your belief. Your belief and my belief is... What does the saying go? Let me see. I think I'll find it. Your belief in my belief. What is it? Let me think. I forgot what the saying goes, man. I'll find it later. Been banking on puts lately. Bang, bang, boom, bang. Well, the short worked out, man. It was just slow. If you guys want to see the thesis, you know, I said it many times. I just made a post about it at this point. If you guys want the post, I posted it before it broke down. There's the thesis. It's based on the I didn't even see that. Based on the structural bias, the positioning for today. Those two things put together. Let's wait. Structure. Yeah, I mean, at this point, if it bounces back, I already made a gain. The rest of the move that comes after this, I'm not really, how would I say it? I'm not counting, or I don't really count on it playing out. It's more just like extra. So yeah, NQ, look at the NQ too. For correlation purposes, the NQ holding below this structure here too, which is a few layers of confluence here, which means it's a high quality area for a long or a short. It really depends on how price develops, but it's below the prior value area low from yesterday. It's also the current value area low, which, you know, it is, what's today, Tuesday, so it's not fully developed. And it's also the prior day low. So there's, and it's also the volume point of control just underneath that for the week. So there's a few layers of confluence there for the weakness on the NASDAQ. I think the NASDAQ can probably come out to about 450s, that 29,500. That's the current month value area low. If it does hold below this, it has about a 200 point leg potential. I don't know if it happens today though. It could happen over a series of today and overnight. You know, given the lack of volume. What? Yeah, what? Where? At 79.50, there's what? There's 89, 81. I mean, those are small. I mean, yeah, they could be part of a bigger order, but I don't really look at the MBO data too much. I like what's filled. And maybe in a low volume day, it could be meaningful. I have no idea, to be honest. Personally, I put a little emphasis on it. Same thing. What are you saying? Like, same thing as in, like, it wants to go higher? But I said it's a cult. You think it's an algo or big player? Well, what I'll tell you this, look, the positioning right now at that area is massive because over the last 5 days, here's what I'll tell you. And I have the data. It's not really assuming, right? There's no, I think it is what has been filled over the last few days. There's been a lot of distribution, a lot of delta building between 65 and 60. So if there's a bid there, it's real because they're defending positioning. Here it is. Where is it? Here it is. 55 to 63. It's a multi-day buyer's been absorbing there. The structural risk though is if they hold below 67s, it can be pretty devastating. The passive walls were, yeah, here it is. So pre-market today, there was a lot of resting limit orders between 71 and 60 pre-market. This report's from today. And the multi-day positioning in terms of bids, I don't see any. Oh yeah, here. So from 55 to 63, like I said earlier. 31K total lots positioned there. And then there was a passive bids here between 60 and 71, which is where we're at right now. There were resting limit orders, about 38K total. That were sitting there pre-market between all those, between that 10-point spread. We'll deliver it, guy. These are no, it's data. It's like, it's real data. Like, it's literally, I have MBO data that I just pulled the report on my screen. Did you not see it? It's objective orders that orders that have been filled over the last 5 days here. It's a cool tool. Yeah, I mean, I made it. It's a tool I made. It runs every day, 3 times a day. Based on the MBL data that you have access to it too, the MBL data. Yeah. If you want to check it out, it's here's the website. I post it for free. Let's see. Well, I don't have much to do. Just gonna hold this trade, man. Just gonna hold this and see what it does. At this point, right now, on a weekly basis and a prior day basis, price is imbalanced to the downside, barely. Meaning that risk for a breakdown is possible because price is holding below the prior value area low from yesterday, right here at 71. In order to get a full breakdown, I would assume it needs to break below the overnight low, prior day low area to get an acceleration. The put wall is where today? Let's see. It's at 37. All right. Reinforcing context that the VWAP matters when it comes to an OD day. Boom. Okay, well, let's put the stream here. Short day. Short setup day. Boop, boop. I gave the whole setup pre-market. Now it's moved very slow, but the setup was given as price was moving up here. Short entry was about 84 average. The scale at 72, 71. And we're just going to hold and see if this imbalance is lower into that 50s. And we'll see. The put wall is all the way down there. Who knows if it hits the put wall, but we'll trail it. Right now we're imbalanced lower on the S&P and the NASDAQ. They're both imbalanced lower. We're below value on both of them. Right, here's the value area low from yesterday right here at 71. And then the NQ is at 736. As long as we hold below that, price is technically in balance and we should break down further. As long as we hold below it, price can is currently out of balance and looking for new value. And there's a lot of potential downside risk for positioning between the last few days below, if price holds below 60. Based on my report, you know, I have a report that I pull that shows me the positioning for the last 5 days. And there's a lot of bids that have formed or that have initiated positioning between the 765, 750. So between that like 5-point spread or 10-point spread, there's bids there that need to that are currently in favor. If they hold below that, they will either defend price or capitulate. And that's all I know. So they're currently still above water as we hold above 70s. Not by much, but they're still above water. It's not until they get below 60s that they start to feel some pressure. That's where the sell side really kicks in. Like the big leg down starts below that, I would assume. Where that positioning is. You see how that line in the sand area keeps holding in the 67, 68 area? LIS level's critical. A lot of absorption. Yeah, technically, I mean, but here's the thing. I wouldn't say that it's indicative of I wouldn't say it's indicative of a bid, like meaning a strong move up. Just because it's absorbed. There's the real move. There you go. It's starting. So the volume's kicking up here. This is where the risk lies for the sellers, or sorry, for the buyers. This is where the holding below this area right here over a prolonged enough period of time. This is where things accelerate further. Meaning like this move right now can expand much harder and faster if we hold below about 68, 65, that little spread. The overnight low, let's just put it. It makes it simpler. If it holds below the overnight low, we can drop another 20. The way it drops 20 can be messy. It doesn't always go in a straight line. That's the problem. But where I'm positioned from is literally near the high of the day, so I don't really care about, you know, the little ebbs and flows in between right now. So here's the thing I will say. All my trades, the entire trade setup is only one setup, only one trade I took today. It's all based on data. It's not based on feel. It's not based on subjective of what I think should happen or can happen or what this is doing with that. It's all objective data. It's all back tested and it's all historical volume positioning data. So I'm just putting 2 and 2 together and, you know, executing a trade based on that data. No emotion now. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. The only emotion I felt was just annoyed that price was moving so slowly. You know, there was emotion there for sure. I'm not a robot. I was frustrated with the fact that price was chopping around for such a long time, but you know, it's fine. If it comes up here, right above the priority low and the overnight low, big zone right here. I would assume this either breaks down, accelerates again. 50s is the support area provided by my Sierra chart. It says that 50s is support, but we'll see. And then NQ, my custom indicator, it's proprietary, but it says the this little zone is now supply. It was support this morning. It definitely held up pretty well, and yesterday. Now it's become supply, and then support here on the S&P between 56 and 51. That's where I'm targeting to scale some more. Well, one trade today is all you needed. It was a clean setup there, at least for me, you know? It was a one trade day. And it was a clean setup. Paid for now 20 points in favor from the 80s. I took a short early at the NQ as well in that open drive. It worked well for a few scales. Here's the trade here. An NQ chart is the one on the top right. We went short there. I covered some here. I covered more at the overnight low. That flattened me out on the trade. I only took 2 lots. And then I took another short. Where is... Get away. I took another... Here it is. And then I re-entered the short again at 750. And then I covered at the overnight low again. And then I got stopped out at break even on the second lot. Not bad. What was that? 760 to 670? Is that what it was? Almost 100 points? Yeah, it was over 100 points on both, average between both. No, the color bar is based on failed breakdowns of structural levels. So in this case would be the overnight low or the prior value low. Yeah, so each one has a different relevance. Each one's different. So the yellow one is for the overnight low failed breakdown, which is the one that's forming right now. The cyan one is like the prior value low failed breakdown. And then the white ones are for the current session value low. So like my ES chart on the bottom right and on left, they have white candles if they pro below the current session value low and then they reclaim back above, that colors it white. And the same thing, same parameters if it does it for the overnight low, and the same parameters if it does it for the prior session value low. Those are areas, those are trades that I like to see and that I take. So they're all colored for that reason. They're all colored and helps me kind of identify a setup at glance, you know, if it's there. So like the NQ right now is currently putting in potentially a failed breakdown of the current value area low. We'll see though, it has to hold above it. It's doing a retest of the overnight low and then trying to hold above the current value area low, but so far it's pretty weak. So how do you like France, man? You said you were from France, right? Let me see. I think I said somewhere in France. Oh yeah, just as high from France. I didn't say where. Okay, cool. Je parle français. Huh? Huh? How do you like France, man? Is it all right? Do you recommend I go visit? That's nice. I want to live in Chicago, closer to the CME server. Oh, okay. For the latency, you scalp high frequency or what? Why do you want the latency so slow for? You scalp high frequency? Or smooth DOM? I mean, honestly, you can probably... I mean, you can probably... I mean, the latency you can get you can get rid of. You can just get on a server. I think VPS server you can trade on a server that is closer to the CME. You don't have to necessarily move there. What do you use for? I'm assuming you have Sierra chart, or what do you use to trade? Yes, with Dorman. Cool. The latency, how bad can it be? I mean, you're scalping for how many? I mean, if you're scalping for like a few points, I don't think the latency matters so much, does it? I don't really know much because I mean, I don't scalp, but the latency shouldn't be that much of a factor if you're scalping for like 3 points, anything between 3 to 5 points. I don't think it should be a problem with the latency. I mean, if you're looking for like 1 to 3, maybe 4 ticks, maybe I can understand the latency issue, but otherwise, I don't really think it should be a problem. What is your strategy? I'm following you for more than 1 year. You never share. You can read my newsletter, man. It's all there. So it's primarily failed breakdowns. You know, failed breakdowns is my primary trading strategy. I do smaller trades that are different. Maybe like one other trade, but I only trade one strategy, and that's pretty much it. Failed breakdowns. That's pretty much it. You're gonna hear me talk about failed breakdowns every single day on the live streams. So that's the strategy, a failed breakdown. If you don't know what that is, let me know, I'll clarify, but yeah. I mean, I developed a whole software to give my strategy. Literally, my entire strategy is encapsulated into a software, and it's the website that's in my pinned it's in my pinned comment on the chat. You want my strategy? Like today's strategy said, my strategy today said short biased today. That was developed by the software. I did not do anything. It did it all for me. I agreed with the software, so therefore I took the short. But yeah, the software gives you my strategy pretty much. Tells you the structure of the way I frame trades, and then just below it, it tells you the trade setups that I like, which are always going to be around the same concept: failed breakdowns or failed breakouts. Does that answer your question, Mr. Waleed? I hope. I can be more specific if needed, but yeah. Iran says Hormuz to stay closed until conditions met. Oh my, look at this. Trump administration decided not to participate until secondary, but gave blessing. Okay. Anyway, where can I find the newsletter? And for the software, where did you code it? Can you share with us what exactly? I'm not going to give you my algorithm. Definitely not. That I'm not going to give you. I mean, that's proprietary, man. That is what you pay for. I am not going to give someone... I coded it, all of it, with help of AI, but what I will tell you is the newsletter is right here. Here's the link. Newsletter. It'll pop up right now on the chat. There's a link, Substack. I post every single day my outlook, where the positioning is, what levels I'm watching, how the day developed, what I'm expecting for the next session. So I give all the context of all the information that I use to make trade decisions. I post it all for free. You know, from the open to the development to the close to the next day's outlook based on XYZ. I give all of it, all free. And then for the software, I coded it alongside help of Claude Code and help. But I will not give, I'm not going to give my proprietary data away. That is just crazy. I will just tell you that I framed everything, all the 8 years of trading experience that I have based, and then also in conjunction with how I frame trades, the data I have access to, because I have access to a ton of data that I pay, that is provided to me. All that data was back tested historically over the last 8 years, and then I forward tested it for a few months, and then I created the software after that was completed. So there's a lot of work that went into it, a lot of data and framing of trades, but it's all objective, it's all data driven. None of it's my own personal feel. So structurally important. I mean, the structure is first. That's backed by the data of the way I frame trades. So I'll give all that, but I'm not gonna give what I use on the algorithm. That's crazy. I already share a ton of stuff for free. If you go to my X, I share all the GEX levels. I share the Substack Outlook and newsletter for free. I share the ES positioning report for free. Hell, even the software that I created is free if you fill in the data yourself. Like, there's so much free shit I gave that gives you pretty much, it'll give you what I have access to without the automation part of it all, because my system is automated. I have it all the reports and everything they compiled, and the info that I have access to. My reports on my computer are auto generated. I share about 60% of the data that I generate. The rest of it, you have to work for it. Okay, that's part of the selling point. Like, if you want the remaining 40%, you got to pay for it, you know, if you find it valuable. And if you're not sure if it's valuable, I stream every day, and you can see me trade, execute trades, take profit or loss based on all that information that I share. And you can decide for yourself if what I'm doing and how I'm trading is valuable enough to pay for. It's I think it's a pretty straightforward proposition. All right, I'm gonna scale some here as it's still holding above the PDL. I'm gonna hold just one lot and just kind of, because I don't like the way it's holding the PDL. I would have thought by now it would have dipped a little bit lower. Thank you. Yeah, no problem, man. I mean, if you guys have questions, I will answer them. But if someone tells me what's your algorithm, and like, I'm not gonna get into the nitty-gritty of that. That's just not gonna happen. Cool. I'm gonna scale this and then move to break even. At this point, I can even move to VWAP. I don't want to see price trade above VWAP at this point. Reclaiming above VWAP probably just squeezes higher. Even reclaiming above this level here would be a pretty good area to go long, as it reclaims the 71s. This reclaim would immediately test VWAP probably back to 78, and then from there we'd see if it can go back above that or not. If price does hold above 71, it can immediately run about 10 points. I would say about 8 to 10 points. That's a big if right now, right? I don't know if they can. It is an extension on your trading tool or a separate site that you use APIs. It's my tool. I developed the tool, and whatever tool. So the tool that it's on my website is the tool that I use as well. They're one and the same. So my tool on my computer running locally, I am also using the same website that you have access to that I share on the pinned comment. So whatever product I offer, I use too. I'm not going to give myself something different that's not the same. That's not fair. That's not right. Why would I sell something that I don't personally use? So whatever's online on that pinned comment is the same thing that I use. I wouldn't use something else and try to sell it. That's just rude. So this website, it has my name. I use the same thing. The only thing is that I have a live data fill that fills out the entire sheet for me automatically. I don't have to do all the data, all the work input. It automatically fills it for me, and it gives me the structural bias and the trade setups to look for based on that. So whatever's on there is what I give. The way to set it up, if that's your question, is that you need an API key that you have to pay for. You would put it right here on this section on the website. It would be an API key, and it gives you access to not the software. You can access the software for free, but it would give you the automated data to fill in for you, so you don't have to do it yourself. And what you prefer, because encoding tool on Bookmap. I don't use Bookmap. So I don't use Bookmap. I don't know what you mean by that question. If you can clarify a little bit, that'd be great. But you can use the tool, the software, and you can trade on any platform. It doesn't have to be Sierra Chart. All right, so we shorted here, here, and I added more here a little bit later. The 3 scales for the short setup, and then I scaled, and now we're just down to a runner. Yeah. Just super slow tape. It is what it is. Oh, it was like someone signed up for the link talking about it. Yeah, I forget to mention, you get a 7-day free trial. So whoever signed up, Mr. I don't want to say the name in case they don't want to be known. Seven-day free trial. I forgot to mention that. You get 7 days for free if you want to try it. Oh, well, I'm gonna bounce. This is pretty boring. Volume's pretty anemic. Where's the upside? All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna bounce. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll let this trade kind of trail and see what happens. The runner, again, I trailed it below VWAP. And then ultimately, I want to see if it comes down into this price box, this support area. I'm not sure if it does. But we'll see. I'll be back. You guys have a good rest of your day. See ya, man. Au revoir.